The first official images from the Spider-Man Noir live-action series is now online, starring Nicolas Cage. Can you believe Nicolas Cage is now 60 years old, and we're getting him in a Spider-Man project? It's a wild world that we live in, guys. This is really exciting. So the breakdown for this video, we're going to go straight over. Check out those pictures coming from the set of Spider-Man Noir. I believe this is meant to land on Amazon, if I'm not incorrect. Then what we'll do is we'll hop back over to this article on Comic Book Movie. We'll read a bit into the series and see if we can dig up any new details about Spider-Man Noir. So we're going to go over to here, to justjared.com. I have to say, I'm not that familiar with this website. So what we're going to do is go back to the homepage here. So Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Man Noir first look set photos. So here's your first look at Nicolas Cage on the set of Spider-Man Noir. The 60-year-old actor was photographed on the set of the new series on Wednesday morning, October 2nd. So this happened just yesterday. In Los Angeles, his character appeared to be knocked over by something in the scene. So whether they're going to add in like a CGI villain or something like that maybe knocked him over, we'll have to wait and see. So here's the show's logline. The series tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator, played by Nick Cage, in the 1930s New York, who was forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. This is not Nicolas's first time playing Spider-Man Noir. He voiced the role in the animated movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Noir has been officially ordered to series already at MGM Plus and Amazon Prime Video. Yeah, like I was saying at the beginning, I thought it was Amazon that this was going to be landing on. And this is great. Amazon has all the money in the world to throw at this, so hopefully they come up with something decent. And Nicolas Cage, national treasure. Can't wait to see what he's going to do with this role. So let's have a look at these pictures here. So starting off here, we'll go through them. There's quite a few pictures here, actually. So what we'll do is let's go through. Obviously, we've got Nicolas Cage here. He's in a big kind of overcoat here. He's in the middle of the street. It looks like he's looking towards something, or something is going on in the middle of the street. It's hard to tell at this point, but yeah, seeing Nicolas Cage is great. Then we see him knocked over in the middle of the street. Again, are they going to be adding in CGI, or is there another set of photographs maybe of a potential villain or somebody else that knocked him over that we're not seeing quite yet? Again, it almost looks like he's been punched in the side of the face, or he's been hit on the side. He's kind of like deflecting off to one side, so potentially he's been hit by something there. Again, he's kind of cowering or falling onto the floor. And then he's kind of on his knees, looking in the distance down the road at something. Obviously, we get some of these lights as well, some of the rigging around the set. And another close-up look here. Again, Nicolas Cage, it's just great to see him. It's kind of hard to talk about because obviously these pictures are very out of context. We don't know what's happening in this scene. But again, it's just great to see Nicolas Cage. I never thought that this project was actually going to come to fruition, having a Spider-Man Noir live action series starring Nicolas Cage. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it's a wild time to be a comic book fan. They're coming up with all these crazy ideas, trying to keep the comic book genre alive in Hollywood, so they have to come up with fresh new ideas to keep people interested, and having Nicolas Cage here is definitely one of those ideas. Again, it looks like he's kind of cowering almost, like he's kind of trying to hide away, or he's trying to kind of defend himself from something here. Again, he's been hit in the side of the face. And they're still wearing surgical masks on set, which is very interesting. Maybe it's just, sanitary reasons. Maybe there's something to do with the rigging system where they need to be safe. I'm sure it's probably not to do with COVID at this point, because I don't think anyone cares about that anymore. But that still could be a concern, so that might be the reason. Again, knocked over on the floor here. And then again, we see him kind of walking down the street with his surgical mask on. Very kind of noir kind of, dress sense here. Obviously, it's set in the 30s, so it's very much kind of that kind of style of dress. I really like that style of dress they had back then, so it's pretty cool. But a lot of people were wondering also, is this series going to be filmed in black and white, kind of like what Spider-Man Noir is normally presented in, or is it going to be in color? That's going to be a big stylistic choice that people are going to be interested to see as well. Maybe a mix between the both. But yeah, so we see him here, big overcoat, surgical mask, kind of walking around the set. Unfortunately, that's kind of all the images that we have so far of the set. We don't have any of Spider-Man Noir in costume. We just have Nicolas Cage here in the middle of the street. It looks like he's been hit by something, or someone's potentially attacking him. They could be adding that in later at a later date with CGI, or potentially, like I say, there could be another set of images of the villain or someone he's squaring off against that we're not quite seeing. But out of context, it's hard to say what's going on. So, a quick update. I'd uploaded this video to the channel. It was ready to go public for you guys to watch. But then I went back online and I saw that they'd uploaded even more set images from Spider-Man Noir onto the internet. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go back to the video, include these set of images as well, so you guys can get the most up-to-date information on the series. So, Nicolas Cage, Spider-Noir newspaper prop seemingly reveals the show's villain. So you may see this as spoilers, I don't, but we're still going to read into it, guys. But just be warned, you may see this as a spoiler. Like I said, I don't. But let's read into this anyway. So his newspaper he was holding while filming reads, Silvermane survives in skivvies. Silvermane, aka Silvio Manfredi, is a major criminal in the Marvel Comics. He eventually becomes a crime boss after being a career criminal. Obviously, the rest of it we've already read, the show's logline and all of that stuff. So let's go and take a look at these images as well. So here we have Nicolas Cage again in his kind of 1930s getup, his overcoat. He's holding his newspaper. This time he's got a nice kind of fashionable hat as well. Unfortunately, not in costume again, but that's okay. I'm sure we're going to see that in due course. Again, Nicolas Cage just sat at the front of a building here. Looks like a courthouse or something like that potentially. But again, great to see Nicolas Cage here holding that newspaper. Again, we can see this newspaper here. If you sort of squint your head to the right, it says Silvermane survives in skivvies. So yeah, it does indeed seem to confirm that Silvermane will be kind of one of the villains, if not the villain of the series. So let's keep going. We've got this other character here in another trench coat behind Nicolas Cage. Not sure the context of this character at the moment. It looks like we've got some graffiti here on this tree. I don't know if that's kind of part of the narrative of this scene, whether that's something to do with a villain potentially. It seems to be in a lot of comic book movies that when we see graffiti on kind of like a overpass of a tunnel or a highway or the side of a road, the graffiti seems to have some sort of narrative purpose. But like I was saying here, I'm not sure if this graffiti on this tree does. So, a close-up here, again, of Nicolas Cage. Can't believe the guy's 60 years old. He still looks fit. He still looks healthy. He still looks in good shape. I'm hoping we get years more worth of movies out of this guy. But yeah, I love his overcoat, his hat. Very 1930s, very cool. And another picture. And again, I think we're back to the beginning. I think we've done a whole circle. Oh, no, we haven't yet. We haven't seen this picture. Again, he's holding this newspaper here. Funny facial expression this time. Got his hand in his pocket, looking pretty cool, standing on the side of the pavement. It's out of context. We don't know what's going on again. This character here in the background, getting something out of his pocket or putting something into his pocket. Maybe a little kind of whiskey flask, having a little bit of a morning drink, if you like. And again, stood on the side of the pavement. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot going on in this scene. But yeah, so there we go, guys. That's some pictures there. It looks like we've got security or someone from the crew there. And we just get the same sort of pictures. He's doing the thumbs up, so he's potentially ready to shoot his scene. And I think that's back to the beginning there. Yeah, so that's kind of the second set of pictures that we have, guys. So like I said, I went back, saw this online, and then thought, you know what, I'm going to update this into the video. I want to give you guys the most amount of up-to-date information and pictures. So that's the second set of images there, guys. I hope you like it. And let's continue on with the video. So, going back over to comicbookmovie.com, let's have a quick read into this information and see what we can learn about the upcoming series. So, cameras are now rolling on Prime Video's Spider-Noir series, which will introduce a live-action take on Nicolas Cage's Spider-Man Noir from the animated Into the Spider-Verse movies. Those Spider-Verse movies are pretty much universally loved. They did a great job. I wasn't a fan of the animation style, but the characters and the story ultimately won me over, and I got past my kind of issue with the animation. So, Just Jared has shared the first photos from the set, which we just looked at, and they've revealed Cage filming a scene as the titular washed-up crime fighter, not in costume, unfortunately. We don't have much context for the sequence, like I already said when we were looking at them being shot, but the site notes that Cage's character appears to have been knocked over by something in this scene. The show's official logline tells the story of an aging and down on his luck private investigator, Cage, in 1930s New York, who is forced to grapple with his past life as the city's one and only superhero. Though this is yet to be officially confirmed, Cage is believed to be playing a new take on Peter Parker's genetic clone, Ben Reilly, aka Scarlet Spider. So there's a lot of rumors at the moment about who Cage is actually playing, what kind of variation of Spider-Man he's actually playing here. So we haven't had anything confirmed, so we'll have to wait and get further news updates about this, clearing up the version of Spider-Man. Are they going to be accurately kind of using the comic book version of Spider-Noir, or are they going to take it in a fresh new direction, which is what they often do when it comes to movies and series. They kind of adapt a character from the comic books, but put their own spin on it. So we'll have to wait and see what kind of version of Spider-Noir they're going to be taking here. So according to the more detailed unofficial synopsis, so this is an unofficial synopsis here, guys. We follow Ben Reilly as a private investigator as he stumbles down a rabbit hole of corruption in 1933 New York City. While also establishing his past as a superhero, Reilly investigates the death of Edward Addison, which leads him to discover that the mayor is up to something nefarious that involves crime boss Silvermane and femme fatale Yuri Watanabe. So Cage joins, okay, so we have the cast list here, guys. I'm not going to read it because I'll butcher all the names. So have a pause and read the cast list here. But just you know, realize that the cast is pretty damn stacked for this series. Brendan Gleeson is in here as well, guys. So Brendan Gleeson and Nicolas Cage. That's, you know, if anything, that's two great cast members right there. Obviously, we've already checked out these photos. JustJared.com, like I say, pop over there, guys, after the video if you want to see them more in depth for yourself. We have the we have the producers and behind the cameras here. So have a read of this if you want to, guys. Again, I'm not going to read it because I'll butcher it, but you can read here who's going to be producing it, who's going to be working on the series. Cage didn't reprise his role of Noir for the recent Across the Spider-Verse animated sequel, but is expected to return for the final film in the animated trilogy, Beyond the Spider-Verse. So we will see him back potentially for Beyond the Spider-Verse, voicing Noir once again, which is kind of exciting for those of you who are really big fans of Into the Spider-Verse. The comic was damn good. I hope they don't screw it up. I think that's the sentiment of a lot of fans these days when it comes to Marvel content now. And with DC content, obviously we've got a lot of DC stuff coming in the next few years. The comics were good, don't screw it up. That's kind of just what we're hoping for at the moment. Just crossing our fingers that they do something fresh, unique, interesting. But having Nicolas Cage in here, man, that's going to get a lot of people interested in what they're doing with this. Having Nicolas Cage under this mask, or potentially Nicolas Cage is going to be playing, you know, the human version, and then when he's in costume, obviously it's going to be probably a stuntman, I would assume. But seeing Nicolas Cage potentially in this costume is going to be so badass. I cannot wait to see the first pictures of Nicolas Cage in costume, if we ever get that, which I hope we do. But guys, so that's kind of where we are. We've seen the pictures here, the first official pictures of Nicolas Cage on the set of Spider-Noir for the Amazon live action series. What do you think about this? Are you interested? Are you excited for this series, guys? Or do you think it's going to be another Madam Web, another Morbius, just a big flop, just a big turd? That, you know, they keep putting out these Spider-Man properties, but they rarely stick the landing when it comes to these Spider-Man properties. Obviously, they did a great job with Into the Spider-Verse, but that was animated. Morbius flopped. I mean, we have Madam Web that flopped. And obviously, we've got Kraven the Hunter coming up. That looks pretty good, but I'm going to wait and see, wait and see the reviews first. But guys, like I said, I throw it off to you. Put your comments, your thoughts, comments, and opinions down below as to whether you're excited or whether you think this is going to be another flop. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. Thanks so much for watching with me, as always. I will see you in the next one. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. I almost forgot to say that. Thanks so much, guys. See you soon.